Ang kulit niyo ikaw Paborito ko ni Daddy.
It's ni Papa, oh.
Miss ka na namin, Papa.
Parang kailan lang. Nung nag-aaral pa ako, lagi kang nasa tabi ko. Kahit napagod ka, pipilitin mo pa rin akong tulungan. Kahit abutin tayo ng umaga. Natuto ako sa mga aral na paulit-ulit yung sinasabi at pinapaalala. Kahit minsan, nakakasawa. Pero ma, pa, tama pala kayo. Kaya kong tumayo sa sarili kong mga paa. Matapang na harapin ang mga pagsubok sa buhay. Nang dahil sa paggabay niyo. Alam ko, lagi niyo pa rin akong binabantayan. Ma, pa, salamat sa lahat.
Paghandaan ang iyong kinabukasan. Paghandaan ang panahon ng pangangailangan. Pag may St. Peter Lifeline, panatag ang kalooban. May St. Peter Chapels pang masasandigan. Kahit saan, kahit kailan maasahan. Bawat pamilya, dapat may say, little life na. Say, little life na.
I want this to be perfect. Dapat maluwag para lahat ng ka-close ko makapunta. Mga 80 people? Pwedeng purple flowers. Favorite ko yun eh. It will be my last day. You're right ko, social ah.
Yes, ma'am. Pwede po lahat yan.
Souvenirs kaya? Yung kabahan ko pwedeng kulay pink?
Ang kulit niyo ikaw ah. Paborito ko ni Daddy.
Ma, pizza ni Papa, oh.
Miss ka na namin, Papa.
Parang kailan lang. Nung nag-aaral pa ako, lagi kang nasa tabi ko. Kahit napagod ka, pipilitin mo pa rin akong tulungan. Kahit abutin tayo ng umaga. Natuto ako sa mga aral na paulit-ulit yung sinasabi at pinapaalala. Kahit minsan, nakakasawa. Pero ma, pa, tama pala kayo. Kaya kong tumayo sa sarili kong mga paa. Matapang na harapin ang mga pagsubok sa buhay. Nang dahil sa paggabay niyo. Alam ko, lagi niyo pa rin akong binabantayan. Ma, pa, salamat sa lahat.
Paghandaan ang iyong kinabukasan, paghandaan ang panahon ng pangangailangan. Pag may St. Peter Lifeline, panatag ang kalooban. May St. Peter Chapels pang masasandigan. Kahit saan, kahit kailan maasahan, bawat pamilya dapat may St. Peter Lifeline. St. Peter Lifeline.
I want this to be perfect. Dapat maluwag para lahat ng ka-close ko makapunta. Mga 80 people? Pwedeng purple flowers. Favorite ko yun eh. It will be my last day. Yung ride ko social ah.
Yes, ma'am. Pwede po lahat yan.
Souvenirs kaya? Yung kabahan ko pwedeng kulay pink?
Ang kulit niyo ikaw ah. Paborito ka ni Daddy.
Ma, it's me ni Papa, oh.
Miss ka na namin, Papa.
Parang kailan lang. Nung nag-aaral pa ako, lagi kang nasa tabi ko. Kahit napagod ka, pipilitin mo pa rin akong tulungan. Kahit abuti tayo ng umaga. Natuto ako sa mga aral na paulit-ulit yung sinasabi at pinapaalala. Kahit minsan, nakakasawa. Pero ma, pa, tama pala kayo. Kaya kong tumayo sa sarili kong mga paa. Matapang na harapin ang mga pagsubok sa buhay. Nang dahil sa paggabay niyo. Alam ko, lagi niyo pa rin akong binabantayan. Ma, pa, salamat sa lahat.
Paghandaan ang iyong kinabukasan, paghandaan ang panahon ng pangangailangan. Pag may St. Peter Lifeline, panatag ang kalooban. May St. Peter Chapels pang masasandigan. Kahit saan, kahit kailan maasahan, bawat pamilya dapat may St. Peter Lifeline. St. Peter Lifeline.
I want this to be perfect. Dapat maluwag para lahat ng ka-close ko makapunta. Mga 80 people? Pwedeng purple flowers. Favorite ko yun eh. It will be my last day. You're right ko, sosyal ah.
Yes, ma'am. Pwede po lahat yan.
Souvenirs kaya? Yung kabahan ko pwedeng kulay pink?
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong lugaw, may gilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang islap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na natiligin. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magbibigin. Lupa ng araw ng walhating pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mag-abil, ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
Yes, we are live. Good afternoon po, FB viewers. Good afternoon po, St. Peterians. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay si Mr. Rex Rafael, isa sa mga Assistant Vice Presidents ng St. Peter Chapel Operations. I'll be your host this afternoon. Okay, welcome to the last learning session of 2020 St. Peter DeathCare Week webinar series. If this is your first time to join us, this is the St. Peter DeathCare Week, a major corporate social responsibility and public service program of St. Peter that aims to promote awareness on death care planning and preparation. It is also our way of joining the entire nation in commemorating All Souls and All Saints Day, Undas, which are traditionally honored events for Filipinos. Death Care Week annually starts on October 27 and culminates on November 2. Alam po ninyo, before the pandemic, we hold public assistance booths inside selected memorial parks and cemeteries nationwide. But since they are closed during this time, we hope to be able to commemorate this occasion virtually here on Facebook. Okay, I know that all of you are very excited to learn from our panelists and speakers. Excited nga ba? Sana. Today, kung ano nga ba ang ginagawa ng isang nagtatrabaho sa isang funeral home? We will know that in just a short while from our guests from St. Peter Chapels. Okay. So meron tayong tatlong panelists po. Very dedicated managers of St. Peter. Okay. Now, let's get to know them. No? Ang ating tatlong panelists for today, this afternoon. Okay. Let's all welcome, drum roll, Mr. Carlo. He is the manager for St. Peter Chapels, Quezon Avenue. Okay. Hi, Carlo.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Later, Carlo, introduce mo sarili mo. Okay. And then we also have Mr. Andrew. He is the manager for St. Peter Commonwealth. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, Andrew. And of course, ang isa sa pinakamagandang manager ng St. Peter. Siya po ang ating Group Chapel Manager for Visayas West Territory number 2, si Miss Sheila. Hi, Miss Sheila.
Hi, good afternoon po. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Sir Carlo and Sir Andrew.
It's nice to see you all dito sa ating webinar na to. Okay. Now, I would like now all of you three to introduce yourselves. So siguro unahin muna natin na si Miss Sheila, and then Andrew, and then later on si Carlo. So before we begin any further, let's introduce yourselves to our FB viewers. Okay, go ahead, Miss Sheila.
Hi, good afternoon to all. Mayong hapon sa tanan ng taga Visayas and Mindanao. My name is Sheila Marie Magno, and I'm the GCM or the Group Chapel Manager for Visayas West Territory 2 or yung Panay area. And I've been with St. Peter for 11 years and counting. Yes po.
Wow, 11 years. Now, I know, Sheila, you've been recently promoted. Congratulations sa'yo. I know it's a well-deserved promotion.
Thank you po.
You've been promoted from please just share with them ano yung position mo dati before being a group chapel manager.
I'm a chapel manager po, sir, for Iloilo Chapels.
For Iloilo Chapels. All right, very good. Okay. Next to introduce himself, ito yung isa to sa ating mga boy next door, na mga chapel managers, so isa sa mga guwapitos natin dito sa St. Peter, si CM Andrew. Okay. Andrew, hello. Good afternoon sa iyo.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon po. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andrew Spico. I am a manager here in St. Peter Commonwealth. Mm-hmm. I've been with St. Peter for 5 years now. I started off as a family care representative. Mm-hmm. That was about 5 years ago. Okay. So, there you go.
All right. Okay. At yung ating huli, isa rin tong boy next door din to itong sunod na chapel manager natin at ano rin to DJ pag day off niya si chapel manager and DJ Carlo. Welcome, sir.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me
Okay.
to introduce myself. I'm Carlo Cordova. I'm currently the chapel manager at St. Peter Chapels, Quezon Avenue. I've been with the company for 10 years. I started out with St. Peter as a chapel manager in Marikina until just 5 years ago that I was transferred here at Quezon Avenue Chapel.
All right, sige. Okay, before we begin our discussions, no, I would just like to advise our televiewers, no, our FB viewers, if you have questions as we go along, you may comment your questions below, and we will try to accommodate your questions as we move forward. Okay? So, okay, mahiya po. Magtanong lang po kayo. Okay. All right. So, panelists, ready na ba tayo? Sa
Ready,
unang
sir.
tanong? Okay, sige. Unang tanong, okay. Sino ba dapat ang unang sasagot nito? Ladies first ba? O paano ba? Ladies first daw, ladies first. Okay, sige. Unang tanong. Okay. Ma'am Sheila, can you please share with us, no? Ano ho ba talaga ang trabaho ng isang funeral home manager? Okay? Ma'am, can you please help us with that question?
Opo. Yung trabaho po ng isang funeral home manager po ay napakalawak. Para siyang isang kapitan na nagpapatakbo ng barko. Pero yung sa amin po ay yung pinapatakbo namin is yung funeral home po. Yung basic na role ng isang funeral home manager po, yung routine is dealing with clients, providing quality service, monitoring the whole aspect of the operations po, guiding your co-workers, from monitoring your supplies, your expenses, your payables, your receivables, and also protecting the asset of the company. But for me po, the core role of a funeral home manager is to serve the 3 C's po. C's, the 3 C's. First is for the client. The responsibility is centered on building trust and confidence between the client and the company you represent. And another C po is your company serving your client with adhering to your company's policies, guidelines, and directives. And last C po is for the co-workers. You must stand as a leader to your co-workers and guide them in your operations and ensuring the welfare of your co-workers and their career development and personal element. Yan po, sir.
Wow, very good. Spoken like a true leader, Ma'am Sheila. Ano mo, I agree with you talaga dun sa 3 C's na sinabi mo. You know, meron nga tayong internal at ating external customers. And external being our clients, no? And without them, we wouldn't be here. Diba? And of course, our co-workers, sila yung ating internal clients naman, no? Na dapat din natin silang i-serve at i-guide, no? Lalo na those people who are under us, no? At nasabi mo kanina, client service, alam mo, sa totoo lang, we're here because of that main objective, client service. You know, we are dedicated in the work that we do, and very important talaga sa atin ay ang client talaga, no? Okay, so, all right. Teka, i-test natin yung audio raw. May nagsasabi sa akin, ayun, yun. Okay daw audio ko. Sayang naman yung sinabi ko kung hindi na dinig, ano? Okay, sige. So, tuloy tayo. Hindi ko na i-repeat yung tanong kasi mukhang na bullseye na talaga ni Sheila, no? Kaya to na promote na group chapel manager, talagang well deserved. Alam na alam niya talaga ang purpose natin dito sa St. Peter. Okay. Sir Andrew, meron po akong tanong sa inyo, no? Kung okay lang po, no?
Yes, sir.
What does it take to become a manager, working in a funeral home, no? Ano ho ba to?
Well, to become a funeral homes manager, sir, it takes a lot of compassion, integrity, sincerity, because you're dealing with bereaved families every day, and grief tends to manifest in different ways. Each case is always unique, and people's priorities can vary greatly from case to case.
Okay. I think yung sinabi mo kanina, no, na honesty, tama ba? Yung dinig ko, honesty, no? Actually, honesty, I think, goes well then with the word empathy, no? Na dapat we are going to be sincerely caring talaga, and and to show talaga that we are serving them wholeheartedly, no? And that's one of the key factors, no, why we are here as well. Okay. Si M. Carlo, meron din po akong tanong sa inyo, no?
Yes, sir.
Gusto mo ba talaga maging chapel manager? O is it by chance? Alam ko maganda ang ang story mo rito. I remember, no? Nabanggit mo sa akin dati yung history mo, pero gusto ko ikaw na magsabi, no, para ma-share mo sa ating mga FB viewers, sa ating mga kapwa Saint Peterians, no, kung ano ba yung history ni Carlo Cordova, na paano siya naging chapel manager at gusto ba niya to talaga, no, Carlo? Sige ha. If you don't mind, no, please share this with us.
Yes, sir. Sir, the answer to that question is no. I didn't really actually think of seeing myself to be one of the managers in a funeral home. But surprisingly, sir, I've been with the industry for 18 years. I started out with my own. Yes, sir. I've started out with my own funeral home for 8 years, and then until I was invited to join Saint Peter, and I never had second thoughts of joining Saint Peter. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, well, as of it was not really a dream, but living the life of a funeral home manager up to this point, it's really satisfying, and I can say that it is a very noble job, and I've learned to love it through the years for 18 years. It's like my already debut in this industry, so
I
really
nga pala,
learned to love it.
happy debut sa iyo at 18 years ka na pala, no. Happy debut sa iyo, Carlo.
Yes, sir.
Nabanggit mo nga, no, alam ko na share mo nga sa akin to before, no. Sabi mo nga you started out on your own, no, may working in a funeral, no, in a funeral home. Ano to, negosyo ba niyo to? Anong ginagawa mo dito dati?
Oh, I operated my own small. It's not a very big one, but it's a medium scale funeral home that I operated myself for 8 years.
Alright. So I'm sure talaga nakatulong yung experience mo, no, dito sa St. Peter, no. Now okay, so background mo is funeral talaga. How about si Ma'am Sheila, ano ho ba dati ang work ninyo, ma'am, no? I'm sure naman this is not your first work. Ano po? Saan po kayo dati, ma'am, nagtatrabaho?
Sir Rex, I am a nurse po, and honestly, when I applied, yes po.
Okay.
When I applied for the job a decade ago, I was unaware of the work of a funeral home manager.
Ano
Hindi ko po
akala
alam
mo
kung ano
pala?
yung,
Anong akala
hindi ko,
mo?
wala po akong idea na at first funeral pala siya. So,
Okay.
and prior to entering in this industry, I find this job unnoticeable. Yung parang hindi siya important, walang value. But later, I've realized that in this industry, in this business, it values customer service, excellent customer service. So parang hindi siya malayo sa pagiging nurse kasi you must be service oriented. Kaya po I've learned to embrace my job and love my job, and hindi naman po ako nag-regret na andito ako ngayon.
Wow, all right. Very good. How about you, Andrew? Ano ba dati ang mo? Ano ba background mo, no, before joining St. Peter?
Actually, Sir Rex, like Miss Sheila, I'm also a nurse.
Okay.
I'm a registered and licensed nurse, and I too never thought that I would become a funeral homes manager. But like all nurses, our training is centered on helping alleviate pain, giving comfort, and dealing with grief. So all of that has helped me at first when I was a family care representative, and more so now that I am a manager.
Wow, yeah. Talagang no. Minsan alam niyo talaga, guys, si God talaga meron siyang plano para sa atin, no. At kung ano man yung background mo, parang meron tayong parang naplano na niya, no, na yung susunod na gagawin mo sa buhay mo. Kung anong experience mo, makakatulong to sa'yo moving forward. Tama ba? No,
Yes.
especially sa inyo na nurse kayo, and also si Carlo na sinabi niya dati siyang nagwo-work or may sarili siyang funeral, no, na chapel. Okay, now ito siguro magandang tanong to, no. It's like a follow-up question to what we have been discussing, no. Now that you are a funeral home manager, di ba kayo nag-isip, or what are your feelings towards the career, no? Well, expound na lang natin siguro dahil sinabi naman ninyo walang regrets, pero siguro ang tanong ko is that since funeral homes director kayo ngayon, no? Kung hindi kayo naging funeral homes director, okay, or kung hindi kayo naging manager or not working in the funeral industry, okay, sa tingin ba ninyo, ano yung naging work ninyo? Tuloy ba kayo na naging nurse, or what do you think? Sheila?
For me, siguro, sir, naging nurse po siguro ako. Pero nung pumasok po ako ng St. Peter, hindi na po ako nagdalawang isip na bumalik sa pagiging nurse. Kasi I've learned to, yung nga sabi ko kanina, I embraced my job and love my profession po as a licensed embalmer na ngayon.
Wow. Congratulations, and thank you for that sharing. Carlo, ikaw naman.
Yes, sir. I could have been an anthropologist, sir. I could have pursued my course in college.
Oh, okay. Ano ba isang anthropologist? Paki-share nga, ano ba ginagawa nito?
Sir, an anthropologist, or we study human and its behavior and in the culture. So it's more of like sociology, but more specific on the culture and the practices and how the way of life of people.
All
So
right.
going into the funeral industry, that's really helped me a lot to understand the different aspects of how people feel, how they go through grief and everything, because we also studied that back in college.
Okay. Actually, even yung anthropology mo na kurso, no, mukhang nakakatulong din siguro sa'yo, no, sa ginagawa mo ngayon, comforting the families, I suppose, no, Carlo? No?
Yes, sir. A lot po. Sobra, sir.
Okay. How about you, Andrew?
Maybe, sir, if I had not come into St. Peter, I have pursued my nursing, maybe even abroad. But like Miss Sheila also, when I came into St. Peter, I don't usually dwell on what could have been. So I planted my feet firmly on the ground, immersed myself, and being here has been very rewarding to me. So especially after 5 years, knowing that St. Peter provides so many opportunities, even for continuing education, educational programs, they inspire you really to do more.
Very good. And sa totoo lang, no, that's why we are all here. No, we believe in what we're doing. No, we want to inspire people, yung mga ating mga co-workers. No, we want to be helpful to our clients. Dedication. Very good. Ito pala may tanong ako. No, we've been discussing dedication. We've been discussing that we really love our job. Pero share nga natin sa kanila. No, unahin natin siguro ngayon si Andrew naman, no? Si Andrew. Andrew, ano bang isang typical day para sa iyo working in Commonwealth, no? Going dito sa work mo? Ano oras ba ang work ng isang chapel manager? Anong oras ba? Normally ba at 8 a.m. yon until usawa? Tama ba? Ano ba schedule niya?
Oh, yes, sir. Our normal hours are 8 to 5, 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. If you need to log in more hours, then by all means. But
All
the
right.
typical day, sir, here for me starts by doing rounds around the chapel, making sure that the building and its facilities are all in good working condition. I then check each and every service that which step of the process that they're in. If there is any case that might need special attention, and ensuring also that there are no oversights. I do some accounting, inventory, and then I make sure every day that correspondence between life plan and chapels are always in order.
All right. You were saying kanina that you do your rounds. Now, ako may tanong ako, no. Why is it important for you to do your rounds? I mean, bakit hindi mo na lang utusan yung supervisor to do the rounds, you know? Bakit ikaw mismo?
It would. I think it's always best, sir, that you see it yourself. You see the problem yourself, if any, so that you know the gravity of a situation.
Actually, tama ka, no? Ang dapat talaga, we have to lead by example, no? Yun ang sinasabi natin, eh. Tama ba, Andrew? Diba? We
Yes,
have
sir.
to be very proactive, no? At, you know, being successful talaga, you know, you guys are managers, no? You cannot be successful if you do it by remote control. Tama ba? Diba? Hindi mo
Yes,
pwedeng
sir.
utusan lang, to gawin mo to gawin mo yan, without even knowing what's going on. Diba? You have to do it yourself, no? We are not remote control managers. I would think so, no? How about you, Carlo?
Sir, a typical day for me, first
Mm.
I make sure to check on the services. That's what we are here for, to make sure that we render the best possible service to our plan holders or to the families that trust the name Saint Peter to go to our chapel for service. Next, I check on my people if they're okay, if they have any concerns, so that I might be able to help them in some way in case they have encountered something. And of course, as a usual, that just like CM Andrew, sir, I go around the chapel to check on the facilities, just to make sure that everything is in good condition, on good functional conditions, sir. That's a typical
Alright.
day.
Very good. Now, alam ko ito si Ma'am Sheila, mas malaking responsibility because she is not only a chapel manager, 'di ba po, Ma'am? A group chapel
Yes po.
manager, no? So ibig sabihin, before, no, Ma'am, ang handle mo is sa Iloilo, 'di ba? And
Opo,
ngayon
opo.
po, ilan chapels po are you handling right now po?
9 po, sir.
9.
9.
Wow. Okay. So, what's a typical day for you, Ma'am, being the group chapel manager naman po?
Until now, my typical day starts with receiving a call at midnight or dawn for
Okay.
service po. Yes po, sir. That is normal for me. And then after that is, before the day starts, we have to be spiritually prepared and emotionally prepared also for that day. My typical day then also is to check on my chapel managers and yes, for their activities of the day. And also my seat of office is here in Iloilo Mega Chapel, wherein yung Iloilo Mega po yung pinakamalaki sa area ko. So, just like Sir Andrew and Sir Carlo, andito pa rin ako to guide all my CMs and to watch over, sir, personally.
Very good. Yeah, alam mo nga kanina ang sabi nga ni Andrew, yung tinanong ko, ano oras ba ang duty mo? 8 o'clock ba? 8 to 5? Pero ang totoo niyan ang duty mo is 24/7. Tama ba? 'Di ba? When the phone rings, you answer, 'di ba? We answer
Yes po, sir.
you know, lahat kompleto, 'di ba? Because ganun dapat ang dedication natin, no?
Yes, sir.
Buti pa nga ang nurse minsan pag day off hindi mo makontak kasi nagpapahinga, di ba? Pero tayo, you know, tuloy-tuloy tayo. That's the dedication that we have as frontliners pa nga, no? During this pandemic.
Yes, sir.
Kaya saludo kami sa
And
inyo talaga. Oh.
also willingness, sir, willingness to engage in your client 24/7.
Tama. Tama
Oo.
yun. Tama.
Our motto, sir, kahit saan, kahit kailan, maaasahan.
St. Peter, maasahan. Tama.
Opo.
Alright. So, eto pa, meron ako isang tanong. Kasi minsan alam nyo, pag sinabi mo kasi you're working for a funeral home, ang iniisip ng mga tao, malungkot, yung mga ilaw, medyo dim, di ba, mga ganon. Now, Carlo, sa'yo, ano bang general environment inside the funeral home? No? I-share mo nga sa kanila yon. I'm sure naman not everyone goes to a funeral home every day, di ba? So, ano bang general atmosphere na meron tayo?
Normally, sir, like in Quezon Avenue, sir, in the morning, it's usually quiet. But when midday comes until afternoon and nighttime, it becomes like a mall. that's
like
that's
a
the
mall?
atmosphere in the chapel. Yeah, yes, sir. It kind of looks like a mall, and starting at around 5 in the afternoon. And then when there are too many families, but that was before. That was the old normal. But right now, it's kind of different.
Okay. So you're saying, no, if it's like a mall, so hindi talaga malungkot ba yung atmosphere inside a funeral home? Kasi when it's like a mall, parang ano ba, masaya yung mga tao, ganon. There's like celebration going on. Can you help me figure this out? Paano ba 'yon?
We keep it quiet, sir, but to respect the families that are there grieving. But we try to make it like not it's a funeral home. We don't want it to be the typical funeral home. We just try to be energetic, but not really smiling because members of the family of the plan holders die. But we try to be. It's really hard to explain it, but it's kind of just to keep an atmosphere that is not sad, which is a typical idea of a funeral home.
All right.
We keep it clean, of course.
Of course. And later on, we'll discuss pala the new normal. No? Tingnan natin na English new normal kung parang mall pa ba. I think now I realize when you said parang mall is actually the foot traffic. Tama ba? Yung the number of people that go inside, no? Okay. How about you, Andrew? Ano bang general environment sa Commonwealth? Pareho ba sa Quezon Avenue?
Well, like Sir Carlos said, sir, before, yes, there are a lot of people. Sometimes it is, sometimes there are some people that are happy. Sometimes that there are people that are just extremely sad. You know, being in a funeral home means that you're dealing with grief on a daily basis. So what we do is we try to maintain a calm and dignified, and most importantly, an organized work environment for the sake of our clients. You know, this being a place of mourning, we want to ensure that clients feel comfortable and, you know, if they need us, that they can come to us at any time.
All right. When you say comfortable, how do you do it in Commonwealth? Paano natin gagawin parang comfortable or homey, I suppose, yung environment? What do we do?
So I guess, sir, that comes out through personalization of their service, of each service. In each chapel, you try to give as much as you can within the parameters that you can give the family to personalize their way.
Like what? Like what? Ano ba mga specific na pwede nilang hingin na pwede natin ibigay?
Flower arrangements, or setup of the chapel itself, how they like it arranged or rearranged, maybe.
Okay.
Mga ganun po, sir.
And I think even some of our chapels have mga bedrooms, di ba, to make them comfortable, di ba? And
Yes,
of
sir.
course, we have
Sleeping
aircon,
quarters, yes.
no? And I know, no, na regular maintenance yung aircon natin di ba? Kasi yan ang palaging
Yes, sir.
isa sa mga request ninyo sa amin, di ba? For maintenance of the aircon monthly, di ba? So we really want them to be very comfortable, especially in this time of grief, no? Na nila, no? Okay, sige. How about you, Sheila?
In addition to Sir Carlo and Sir Andrew, sir, hindi siya kasi yung typical na dating funeral home. It's because of modern facilities of our funeral parlor or our funeral home. Like for example, in our chapels like in Cebu, Bacolod, here in Iloilo, we have water features that could help ease the grief of the family.
Ano, may mga fountain ka dyan, gano'n? Parang fountain
Yes,
yun,
po.
tama ba?
Water features. Yes, boss. Yes, po, sir. Opo. Kaya yung environment niya is hindi siya parang the old style na funeral home because of our modern facilities po. But yes po. And yung environment naman sa chapel, sir, is unpredictable or paiba-iba because every day yung kinakausap nating family is not the exact same situation with the family na kausapin natin bukas. So, yung environment niya is changeable naman. Pero for the physical environment, yun nga po, because of our modern facilities, yung environment niya hindi siya nakakatakot. Yun po.
Alright. Meron akong gusto idagdag. Wi-Fi, sa tingin niyo, free Wi-Fi. Is this a good feature to have, guys? Tingin niyo?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Do we have that ba?
Always.
Do we have that? Always? We have that always? Andrew? Meron tayong
It's always a
internet?
good feature to have, sir.
Okay. yung mga kliyente natin, I'm sure, no, palagi nagtatanong yan, no, na kung merong free wifi. Tama ba?
Yes.
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Nabibigay naman natin
Yes,
Yes
sir.
po.
Wi-Fi.
wifi, no? That's very important na. Actually nga, hindi na siya luxury, di ba? It's a necessity, no? Okay. Now, before we go on break, no, ilang tanong na ba to? 6 na yata to. Okay, sige, before we go on a break, guys. Okay. Alam ko, marami kayong mga day-to-day challenges and experiences, no? Pero gusto kong tanungin sa inyo, no? Ano ba ang most difficult aspect ng trabaho ninyo, no? I know you can handle any difficult situation, pero ano, from your experience, no, yung pinaka mahirap na aspect ng inyong trabaho? Okay, let's start with Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
I would have to say, sir, that the most difficult aspect of this job would be, dealing with unexpected deaths in families.
Hmm.
This happens often.
Mm.
The families are usually at a loss and you never know what their disposition was gonna be like. So
Okay.
they can be irate, they'll
Mm.
have extreme difficulty in
Mhm.
expressing what they need or understanding what we're trying to tell them,
Mhm.
um, or what their preferences are, and that can
Mm.
be very hard. So that
Mm.
challenge
Mm.
is the most difficult, trying to determine how to help and how to reach them and how to support them.
Alright, sige. Medyo mabigat nga yun, ano. Ikaw, Carlo, dun sa sinabi ni Andrew, no, na yung mga deaths nga na sudden, no, na the families are prepared, and most especially pag irate. I know we try to understand them because they're irate, no. Sino bang gustong mamatayan, di ba? Pero what do you do in those situations, Carlo? Paano mo, to make it more bearable for the family? What do we do?
It's like CM, what Sir Andrew said, sir. That's also one of my difficult, but one of
Hmm.
the difficult
Agree.
challenge that we
Hmm.
have at the chapel. Not only me as a chapel manager, but of course also sir our FCRs
Hmm.
who are almost always there to assist the needs of the family and to
Hmm.
handle them.
Hmm.
Especially that when they are upset
Hmm.
with small and or big things, we just need
Hmm.
be at our best, no? Always
Hmm.
top of mind to put in our minds to remind ourselves all the time that we are here for them to serve
Hmm.
them at the most difficult time in their
Hmm.
lives. So that's just what we talk about with my team, and that's what
Hmm.
I always tell them. Sometimes, sir,
Hmm.
you get carried away when people
Hmm.
when the families are too aggressive.
Hmm.
Parang you want to retaliate, but you always just need to remind yourself that that is not what we do. We are here for them.
Very
That's why
good.
we have to understand them whatever they tell us or however upset they are.
Very good. Actually nga, katulad nung nabanggit natin kanina, no, ulitin ko lang, empathy is very important, no, because you need really to have empathy, no, more than sympathy, no, so that you understand bakit pa irate ito. Diba? And the more you understand, alam mo kung saan nanggagaling ang ating mga kliyente, and the more you can help them out, diba? So that's very important talaga, no, to be humble and to be sincere and to empathize, no, na namatayan. It's very difficult talaga on our part, no, very emotional talaga yan. How about you, Sheila? Sa'yo naman, anong most challenging sa'yo?
For me, siguro sir, yung most challenging is diffusing conflicts. First, diffusing conflicts kasi nga, sabi ko nga kanina, part ng role ng isang funeral home manager is to manage yung co-workers niya. So, first is diffusing conflicts among co-workers.
Hmm.
Kasi in our industry, we need teamwork and cooperation. So, dapat manguna tayo dyan sa kanila. And then next is diffusing conflicts among families. Kasi
Hmm.
hindi may iiwasan, merong mga families na hindi sang-ayon sa desisyon ng kanilang family members. So
Okay.
therefore, minsan tayo is nagiging referee, nagiging shock absorber, nagiging, nagiging tagapag, tagapagkinig sa kanilang mga problema. Yun po, yung pinaka-challenging part para sa akin.
Tama, tama. But but we're professionals. We're trained to handle this, no? And besides, we all have the same mindsets to help out. And kahit challenging ito, I'm sure we will gladly help out, no? Kahit pa siguro may mabanggit sa atin na hindi maganda, we're always there to help out the families. Tama ba?
Yes po, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright. O sige, mukhang nakakapagod yung discussions natin no? Di ba? So it seems that being in a funeral home, being a manager is really a tough job, no? Now, before we dive deeper into the nitty-gritty of being a funeral homes manager, we would be having a short break muna, no? And we'll be back to answer more interesting questions in a short while. Okay, so stick around. Okay, babalik po kami. Break muna tayo. Thank you.
I want this to be perfect. Dapat maluwag para lahat ng ka-close ko makapunta. Mga 80 people? Pwedeng purple flowers. Favorite ko yun eh. It will be my last day. Yung ride ko social
Yes, ma'am. Pwede po lahat yan.
Souvenirs kaya? Yung kabahan ko pwedeng kulay pink?
Paghandaan ang iyong kinabukasan, paghandaan ang panahon ng pangangailangan. Pag may St. Peter Lifeline, panatag ang kalooban, may St. Peter Chapels pang masasandingan. Kahit saan, kahit kailan maasahan, bawat pamilya dapat may St. Peter Lifeline. St. Peter Lifeline.
We're back. We're back. Okay. Sige, before we continue, no, we would like also to thank this time to officially thank our event partners for this session, no? Ang O-Learn at ang Veer New. Si Sir Jerry Ilaw, maraming salamat for believing in our objectives for this project and for helping us turn it into a reality. Thank you also to 360 Next, no, for the creatives, no, napakagaling, napakahusay, no. Very good po. Thank you po. Thank you po sa lahat ng support po ninyo. Alright, sige. So, balik na ulit tayo, no, sa ating mga questions, no. Are you ready, guys? Ready na ba kayo?
Yes,
Sa mga sunod?
Yes, sir.
Oo, mukhang hindi na tayo kinakabahan no. I think kailangan lang talaga magsalita and then later on pag naitulak na ng konti tuloy-tuloy na, no. Okay, very good. Sige. First question, no. Ito, talking about no regrets in our chosen work, no, being a St. Peterian, no. Unahin natin ang tanong na to kay Andrew, no. What is your greatest fulfillment that you have experienced in your job? Yan.
The greatest fulfillment in this job, sir, always will be seeing families happy, seeing how we have served them, helping them honor the memory of their deceased loved one, and knowing that we had a hand in it. We had a hand in it is in itself a reward. Personally, sir, I was able to do that for my own family as well. 3 years ago, I lost my grandmother, and everything I learned being here in St. Peter help them transition faster, I guess. And last year as well, when my uncle passed, again, being the St. Peterian, I was able to help them once more. So that's it.
All right. So it's really fulfilling to help others, especially kung yung family mo naman, no, ang tutulungan mo because you are with St. Peter, no. How about you, Carlo? Ano yung greatest fulfillment mo working with us here in St. Peter?
For me, sir, I think I can say that big things come in small packages. As the smallest smile, the littlest smile that comes from the family who's feeling really very sad after you have spoken with them, after you have assisted them with the service that they need. And sometimes you don't when you do service. I think it should be always when you do service, you don't have to ask for someone to thank you because that's what you just want to do to serve other people. But sometimes you get it eh. They say thank you, salamat sa iyo pare. Salamat sa inyo, salamat sa FCR mo. They helped us through this to go through this smoothly. That simple thank you for smile, napakalaking gratification na po yun for us St. Peterians. It means that we have parang may sense of fulfillment, but that we have all delivered what or given the right service, the best service for our plan holders.
Alam mo, I would really agree with you, no. Us here in St. Peter, we don't come to work because we wait for our 15th and 30th paycheck, no. We're here to help people. And the mere fact na makita mo na yung plan holder, no, yung kliyente ay magsalita sa iyo ng thank you or gumiti, 'di ba? And really appreciated all your efforts, no. Those little things counts eh. Would you all agree pag when I say nakakawala ng pagod when
Yes,
our
sir.
clients are happy with the way we work? 'Di ba? Totoo, 'di ba?
Yes.
And and this
Priceless,
is
sir.
how that's the word, priceless talaga, 'di ba?
Yes,
Ano yun
sir.
eh, hindi mababayaran talaga yun eh, yung thank you na binigay nila sa iyo. Mararamdaman mo to talaga because you are dedicated, no? Dedicated to helping, dedicated Saint-Peterians who are always there, no, ready to help the family, no, with the death in their family. No? Very good, Carlo. Very good. And Andrew also. Okay. How about you, Sheila?
Same with Sir Carlo and Sir Andrew, sir. In most cases, the happiness for being thanked for the service that you have rendered
Hmm.
is my greatest fulfillment in my career.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
client satisfaction and positive
Hmm.
feedback is very rewarding and very
Hmm.
fulfilling, sir.
Okay. Positive
It helps you
feedback.
to,
No. How about,
yes,
sorry,
positive.
before you go any further, paano naman kung negative feedback?
Uh, Sir, as a funeral home manager, my responsibility for that is to turn that negative feedback into a positive one.
Okay.
Kumbaga, you have to deal with that professionally and malalampasan mo din yan, sir. And it's a learning experience para at least for the next time, maging positive na
Hmm.
lagi. Mm.
All right. Okay.
Oo. Parehas na
Oh.
yun, sir, yung parang they value your service,
Hmm.
like for example, yung iba nga sasabihin, see you in other places,
Hmm.
meaning they value your service, they wanted to
Hmm.
see you, but not in a
Hmm.
funeral setting. So sustaining a full life connection with your clients
Hmm.
is vital to your personal and career development. Yan po, sir.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, yung kanina, no, naalala ko sinabi ni Carlo, this is the old normal, di ba? Na parang mall atmosphere with the foot traffic that we have, no? So this next question goes like this, no? During this pandemic, no, unahin natin si Carlo, no? During this pandemic, what has changed in the way funerals are held? No? So I guess this is the right question, no, doon sa sinabi ni Carlo kanina, no? Say, go ahead, Carlo. Ano sa tingin
Sir.
mo?
And sir, well, not really everything, but a lot has changed.
Mm.
Just like as I described it, the typical day in our chapel in the afternoon is
Mm.
just like a mall. It's
Mm.
actually a celebration of some sort of celebration. But now during the pandemic, almost everybody preferred cremation, even
Mm.
if the cases are not COVID related.
Mm.
They still go for cremation because they don't want to expose themselves. So they just decide on having the remains cremated without any viewing.
Mm.
So that has really changed a lot
Mm.
the atmosphere of the chapel.
Okay. Andrew, is it the same with you for Commonwealth?
Yes, sir. Actually, uh, we're used to having a lot of families gather to honor the lives of the family that they've lost. But
Mm.
nowadays, due to the pandemic,
Mm.
um, restrictions on viewings are very strict.
Mm,
So aside from some of the families being very afraid to even step out of their homes,
mm,
aside from very limited viewings, there are
mm,
increased number of cremations for
mm,
COVID cases and non-COVID cases alike,
mm,
just, because they're trying
mm,
to keep it safe.
mm. Alright, sige. How about sa iyo Sheila, sa area mo 'no, sa territory mo, kumusta naman yung mga wakes natin, naapektuhan ba yung ating, chapel viewing at also not only chapel viewing 'no, yung outside viewing natin 'di ba? We have viewing sa labas ng chapel 'di ba? Ta's of course meron din sa loob. So, kumusta na ngayon 'no, yung dalawang ano na 'to, way of doing business natin, itong mga viewings na 'to?
Before pandemic, sir, here in Panay, the viewing lasts for 7 days, 10 days or more. It
Hmm.
is a tradition and it becomes a sort of family gathering wherein family members would take effort to visit the wakes, even the distant relatives would come to visit the wake. But
Hmm.
during this pandemic, where the protocols were strictly implemented, so yung umiba na po, we have limited number of viewing days, of viewing
Hmm.
wakes, limited
Hmm.
number of viewing hours,
Hmm.
and na-discourage na din po yung crowd, yung gathering po. Kaya yung umiba pa talaga during this time of pandemic. Kaya ganun po.
Okay. So I guess right now as well, no, we are discussing the challenges na rin, no, because of this pandemic, di ba? So yung one of the challenges na sinasabi ninyo is yung less viewing, more cremation in return, no, as opposed to viewing, no. Now let's discuss further siguro, no. What other challenges do we have, no, because of this pandemic, Carlo? Ano pa yung mga ibang mga nangyayari no sa atin ngayon with this new normal?
Um, Especially when it started, sir, it was really like choosing what you parang people were shocked. People didn't know what to do, and people didn't even want to get out of their houses.
Mhm.
So what was really hard, challenging, was to keep how to keep your people there,
Mhm.
your team, how to
Mhm.
keep them intact so they won't
Mhm.
blow their minds off. They just want to
Mhm.
go home. That's most
Okay.
important, because if everybody goes home, nobody will be able to serve our plan holders. That's the first one. And the second is in, like, how do you immediately set up contingencies, when,
Mhm.
like, how do you separate you how do you protect your people and all the other
Mhm.
stakeholders. Yun yung
Mhm.
most challenging for us, sir, when it all
Mhm.
started. But as time went went by, 8 months
Mhm.
into the pandemic,
Mhm.
somehow we have adjusted, but new things
Mhm.
still come up, but we
Mhm.
get by, sir. We are St.
Okay.
Peterians.
All right. Gumaganda na ba ngayon? I'm sure yung first couple of weeks natin no, into this pandemic, medyo talaga marami tayong challenges at konti lang ang viewing. How is it now, no? Going to the new normal, mas gumanda na ba yung ano natin, yung viewing natin diyan sa Quezon Avenue?
As medyo nag-loosen up na po yung mga mga measures ng government, but it's
Mhm.
still we're still ganun pa rin po, mayroon pa rin guidelines that we have to follow, but it has
Mhm.
somehow increased.
Mhm.
People are more open to, like, having wakes.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's safe to say that they feel safer now, or
Okay.
they just, maybe they've just gotten over the trauma and ready to face it, to face what's going on here at the new normal, sir.
All right. Okay. How about you, Andrew? Anong pwede mong i-share sa amin when you say challenges natin sa new normal ngayon?
Well, some of our challenges, sir, aside from what Sir Carlo mentioned, are
Mm.
the families that do hold their weights here, or that
Mm.
did
Mm.
tend to hold their weights.
Mm.
They always would bargain with us about capacity of visitors.
Mm. Mm.
Now, since there are already implementations of
Mm.
rules and regulations that limit those things,
Mhm.
it's very hard to say no, but we have to stand fast on that one. We also have a lot of clients who find it very difficult to accept the passing of their loved one, most especially if it is a death related the to COVID, which means that the body has to be directly cremated and they can no longer see that person. So those things were very hard to enforce because you have this grieving family in front of you who's distraught, and you just have to stand firm on the guidelines that are set by the government for us.
All right. Actually, just to add to that, you were saying we have to put our foot down when it comes to these guidelines. And then the reason why is that we're not doing it because sinabi sa atin. Ang value talaga niyan, as you guys know, no, this is also for the safety and well-being of our clients. Would you agree? 'Di ba? Kaya nga
Yes.
may limited number of wakes tayo, limited number of of wake viewers, no? We're not 100% capacity because very important sa atin yung social distancing, 'di ba? Para iwasan natin yung nagkakahawaan o dumami yung may mga COVID cases, no? And it's really uh, contribution para ma-lessen ang COVID cases, no?
Yes
Uh,
po.
'Di ba? Ma'am Sheila, may tanong ako, no.
Yes po.
Is it safe right now? I mean, ano ba ngayon sa area mo? GCQ na ba ngayon? Ano ba sila?
GCQ po.
GCQ? Okay. Is it
Opo.
now safe to go to wakes at this time? Ano ba yung mga protocols niyo diyan sa Iloilo? How do you make sure na yung mga plan holders pag pumupunta diyan, yung mga wake goers natin are safe, no, from COVID-19?
St. Peter naman, sir, our company has always been committed in promoting a healthy environment to our employees and our clients. Our chapels has established a protocol in handling services or in handling wakes. And we've been complying with the guidelines set by the Interagency Task Force, regional and national, with few reinforcement from our local government units po. And we ensure minimum health standards, sir, with the protocols. Like, for example, we placed a washing area outside our chapels, the footpaths, the markings of social distancing or wearing of the mask. We have disinfection schedules in our chapels and including our vehicles. Our viewing rooms are equipped with sensor-operated alcohol and soap dispenser. And also, sir, our employees have received vaccines to prevent from infection.
Anong vaccine itong binibigay natin? Is it flu shots?
Yes, sir. Flu vaccine po.
Okay. And you have to make sure din na yung zinc and also vitamin C intake ninyo, no? I think that's also helpful, sabi nila, no, in para lumakas ang resistensya ninyo, no? Okay.
Yes,
Sige. So very important talaga ang cleanliness, no, at pag-disinfect ng mga chapel, and this will make our wake goers be more comfortable, no, na pupunta ng St. Peter Chapel natin, no? Okay. Sige, how about sa inyo, Andrew? Are you also doing the same in disinfection o may ibang routine kayo?
Yes, sir. We do the same cleaning and disinfecting twice a day. Social distancing, face masks, face shields. What's new now that we added is the online health declaration forms.
Okay.
And that's basically, I think, for contact tracing, for just in case a case does arise up.
Correct. Yeah. So we're really doing our part, no, from sanitation, from disinfection, from social distancing, no. We monitor, 'di ba, Carlo, social distancing. And aside from that, sabi nga natin ngayon, meron nga tayong health declaration na they need to fill up. So all of these are being done for the safety of our clients as well, no. So very good, no. Good job sa inyong tatlo. Just keep on doing that, no, and that's really needed, no, in this new normal. Okay. Sige. So I think this is a very enlightening and productive session, no. Malapit na tayo matapos, I suppose. So thank you very much, no, for the three of you for sharing your experiences and for letting us know that working in the death care service industry is a challenging but rewarding career, no? Very rewarding
Yes.
talaga. I agree with you, no? Before we end this wonderful session, there might be people who are watching us who are interested in our profession, no?
Mm.
What advice, ito yung tanong natin, no? What advice can you share to our audience who may be thinking of becoming a funeral homes manager in the future, no? So start tayo siguro kay ladies first siguro ngayon, no? Sheila, lalo from you coming from nurse to chapel manager to group chapel manager, ano ba yung advice na pwede mong ibigay so that they can also be as successful as you?
If there is an opportunity, sir, grab it. It's worth it. Always remember that the starting point is the most difficult part. But if you're willing to learn, open your heart to changes in your visions and characters, and you will go surely a long way. If there are challenges along the way, don't easily give up. Stand still and learn from those mistakes.
Okay,
And
so
in this profession, sir, attitude and value for work is very important. One must be tough, but have an endless patience and understanding. And all, alam naman natin, sir, yung knowledge can be learned. Our skills can be developed and acquired through practice. But the most important thing is the values and attitude towards your work.
very good.
Being a being a death care professional, sir, needs it entails a lot of hard work and perseverance. But yung sabi nga natin, at the end of the day, this career is very rewarding and fulfilling.
Correct. I agree with you wholeheartedly. No? Tulad ng sinabi mo kanina, and I just like to reiterate this, no, that anyone can be taught to do something, di ba? A skill can be taught to anyone, no? But ang hindi mo maituturo sa tao na yon ay yung kanyang proper mindset. Correct ba? Yun ang sinasabi
Yes
natin
po.
dito, di ba? You have to come in with the right attitude, with the proper mindset, and everything else will be easy. Tama ba yon, Sheila? Yun yun no?
Yes,
I
yes
think.
po. Motivation, sir, motivation.
Motivation din. All right, very good. Okay, wow. Very enlightening talaga 'yon, no? Okay, Carlo, ikaw naman. Ano pwede mo i-share sa kanila, no? To be successful as you.
Um, People might say, why work in a funeral home? And I just tell them, sir, why not? Diba? It is a very fulfilling job, a challenging one at that. It's not a very easy job, but it's a very fulfilling one. Re- Doing service to your fellow Filipinos, to your plan holders is what can you say about that? It's service. It's giving them what they need, not just what they need, but really help them go through the most difficult time in their lives. I mean,
Yeah.
thank you.
Tama 'yun, tama 'yun. How about you, Andrew? Words of
What I would
advice.
say, sir, to not be afraid, because it can be daunting to think of dealing with death on a daily basis. But the heart of what we do is helping the ones that are left behind. The fulfillment in our work lies in knowing that you're impacting people's lives when they're most vulnerable and when they need it most. And we should always just remember that every step in the process, no matter how small, is already a big help to all of them.
Wow. Thank you, no? Thank you, Sheila, Andrew, and also Carlo for those words of wisdom ninyo, no? Those I hope will be helpful to those aspiring to be successful managers in the funeral industry. Okay. Now, before we go, no, I think time is almost up. No, we would like again, no, to thank you for watching our session today. Again, I would like to thank Olearn and VeerNew, the official event partner for the 2020 St. Peter Death Care Week, Mr. Brian C. Lato of 360 Next. Thank you for your wonderful creatives po. Marami pong salamat sa inyo. And a few reminders lang po before we go, no? November 1, Gintong Alaala Holy Mass, no? A Catholic Eucharistic celebration in commemoration of our dearly departed brothers and sisters from 9 to 10 a.m. po ito. This will be for November 1. No? And also for November 2, the next day, we'll be having an hour of praise and worship in Thanksgiving and celebration of life from 8 to 9 a.m. po. So both activities will be broadcasted dito rin po kung saan po nyo kami pinapanood ngayon sa St. Peter Life Plan and Chapel's Facebook page. So please join us po sa November 1 and 2, lalo na at sarado po ang ating mga cemeteries ngayon. Okay? So with that said, again, thank you po sa inyong lahat for being with us. Thank you for all the views that we're getting right now. This is your host, Rex Rafael. I pray for everyone's good health and safety. Please always follow COVID-19 protocols together. We can beat this virus. Thank you so much. And before we go, last na lang po, mag-ingat po tayo sa darating na bagyo mamaya, kay bagyong Rolly, na I think can be a signal number 4 later on. No, I think now it's going southwards daw so baka patamaan ng Metro Manila. Yan ang balita ngayon, pero tatamaan pa rin dyan ang Bicol at ang Quezon. So sa mga kasama natin sa Bicol at sa Quezon, please be prepared. We will pray for your safety. Keep dry po and keep warm, keep safe. And after Rolly, meron pang isa, si Shoni yata yung pangalan. But God will always be here to help us and protect us. Amen. So with that said po, thank you po sa inyong lahat, kahit saan, kahit kailan. St. Peter, maasahan. Salamat po. Thank you po.